Alright, so here we go again. Just cleaning up my mess on the all this floor here for just getting ready to start pulling this floor up. What I'm going to do is cut some holes in this plywood right about in here, just over the bay underneath. And then I'm just going to put a garbage can in there and sweep her all into it. Put one on each side, and then I'll start pulling this up. I got a piece of plywood over top of, or OSB, whatever you want to call it, over top of. There's the one I got. So that's what I end up doing. It's cutting the holes like that, and then you just have these 6-inch pieces of plywood to pry out of there. It's easier to do than trying to get all the screws out, and then I just deal with the screws afterwards. So first thing I got to do is I got to get a impact driver and pull all these old seat mounts out. They bolt right through it. So I'll pull all those off and then start cutting this plywood out of here and get rid of this floor. Oh, boogity boogity. Oh, it's about 4 hours later. I'm going along just cutting the centers out of all this plywood, and then the bits that are left, taking a hammer and a pry bar and just busting it all loose. Leaves all the screws in here, and in here leaves all the screws there, as well as here, all down this edge here. But I'll just take a zip cut along. I'll go along with a zip cut afterwards and knock them off. And then this cavity here, I've pulled all the insulation out. It was stuffed full of insulation. It's out here, making a huge mess again. But it's all covered in mold and whatnot, so get it all out of there. I'll clean this mess all up, and once you get forward of the suspension into the bay area here, the plywood's in a lot better shape, so there won't be as much rust and whatnot as there is back in here. It's all surface rust anyways. I'll just wire wheel it all off and treat it and coat it, and it'll be fine. But there's nothing, no rust at all up in the bay areas here to speak of. So anyways, continue on. No, go ahead. Okay, so it's now almost 9 o'clock. And this is what I've gotten done today. So, just to give you guys an idea of how much time is involved in this kind of stuff. 8 hours work, approximately. Closer to 9, I guess. And this right here, that is open right into the engine bay. So it had an aluminum panel in there that was all pretty corroded, so I took that out. I'll have to put another one in, I guess, and then insulate it. Kind of thinking about getting some Roxol insulation, 6-inch, and laying that all in here up to this point here, and then put the floor down, and then put the spray foam on top of it, another inch. This is 2 inches deep back in here, all the way across here. So from there back will be all 2 inches of spray foam right to the back. And I'm kind of thinking I'm gonna, well, I gotta knock all the screws and bolts and everything out of there yet. And then I'm thinking I'll go and get my plywood and put that on this side before I rip up this side. and that'll give me something besides this center channel here to walk in while I do it. So that's what I'm thinking anyways, but we shall see. Anyways, that's it for now. Well, not much happened today. Stuff came up and I wasn't able to work on the bus too much, but I did go down to our friendly neighborhood Home Depot and buy the plywood for the floor replacement. I was going to use treated, but they didn't have any in 3/8, and the last plywood that was in there lasted over 45 years untreated, so I guess this will probably do the same. I'm gonna, once it's all installed there, I'm gonna, you know, coat inside all the bays and everything, so it'll all be sealed on this side, and I think it'll be fine. I spent some time kind of figuring out where all the tanks and so I ordered my toilet and shower pan, because those penetrations have to go. I have to kind of figure out where they're going to go exactly before I can get too far along here. So anyways, I got them coming. They should be about a week or so, and near as I can tell, the toilet's going to have to go, we'll go through the side of this panel here, 3-inch hole here, and then the tank will be right down in this rear bay here, so I'm going to the top of the tank. And then the shower, same thing on the opposite side. The one that's coming, it's a corner drain, 12 inches in from each side, so it'll be somewhere in the neighborhood of right about in here, which I know doesn't mean a whole heck of a lot to you because you can't see the rest of the bus while I'm doing this, but anyways, that's where it's going to go. And just taking a bunch of measurements off the drawing, the computer drawing that I did, the Corel Draw drawing, and just adjusting dimensions to what I actually built, and it's pretty close. It's within an inch, so I just have to adjust it a little bit. The bathroom wall will start right here. Cables here will be inside I'll just put a little little corner cover over that here for the cables, so they'll be in behind that. And yeah, so we'll see how this all starts coming together. It's I think I'm going to fill that cavity that was full of this fiberglass insulation. I think I'm going to go down and get some rock wool and fill that cavity back up again. And I have to, this part here goes right into the engine bay. I think I mentioned that already, so I'm going to have to make up an aluminum cover for that. And I might step it down 2 inches and fill that with insulation as well. Not sure yet. I have to do some more measuring and see how much. See, here's my plywood. It's going to be, for the floor, it's going to be here, which is about an inch above the original floor, so I just have to do some more measuring and throw this piece of plywood in here and kind of see how it looks. So throughout the week we'll see how that goes, and I'll film a few more of these as we go. Well, hello again. Another Saturday. Just went down to the States, down to Blaine, and picked up a bunch of parts that came in. Haven't made any additional progress on that side. I didn't work on it all week. He had me working on a dishwasher cabinet. I blame him. Anyhow, so today the task is to pull the floor out of this side. I don't know if I've filmed since I finished those slide outs with both of them in or not, but if I didn't, there they are. And there's how much room there is between them. So you can easily walk down here between the slides. That's what we picked up this morning. That's the toilet that's going to go in there. It's an electric flush toilet anyways. And yeah. And that's the cabinet we've been working on for the last few days for dishwasher for Mom and Dad's fifth wheel trailer. So just getting that finished up, and then it can go in. And anyways, that's about it for now. I guess I'll just run this slide out so I can get at the floor under here and get at it. Alright, so we're a little further along here. Sunday afternoon, I got the both sides, the original floor out. Got all the insulation out of these wheel wells. I put rock wool insulation in there. It's supposed to be pretty good for sound deadening, so I'm hoping it'll cut down some of the wheel noise and whatnot when it's traveling. Of course, when the floor goes on there, we're going to spray foam that. So that's not this isn't actually for thermal insulation. It's going to be more for sound deadening, but it's hopefully better than fiberglass. Anyways, this is the rock wool insulation I'm using, Roxol. Anyhow, I have a huge mess outside the window here on the outside where I've thrown all the flooring bits. I think I filmed that already. What a mess. Oh well, I can clean that up afterwards. So I'm just about ready to start laying 3/8 plywood down here, and I gotta repair this one cross brace here. It's the only one in the whole bunch that was rotted out. Everything else was really good. I have no idea why that particular one was rotted through. Nothing else had any rust on it to speak of. But anyways, so that's put a piece of, that's the finished floor height there, and I put that piece of 3/4 inch plywood in there yesterday. I've gotten enough to come up to right about in here, which is as far as the bathroom goes. So I'm going to get that out to that far, get all the I'm going to get the finished floor out to there. I'll just have it laid in place so that, because I won't have any insulation under there yet, but I want to cut all the penetrations for the shower and the toilet and all that kind of stuff, and then when I kind of have them in there when I do the insulation, so I can seal around it and everything. So anyways, that's my plan. So I don't know how much farther I'm going to get tonight, but about 6 o'clock. We'll just keep on going till I run out of steam. Alright, so I got insulation in both sides here under where this 3/8 plywood's going to go. And I got one sheet down tonight. And that's it. It's getting late. I will tomorrow and throughout the week insulate that cavity there and start working my way forward and lay in this 3/4 inch that I have just this was the piece that was down over that area there earlier. So I want to get one more sheet, so that'll get me up to, where is it here? I guess right up to here. So I'll do that, and then I'm going to work my way forward with the upper floor, and then I can get the those two appliances put in the shower pan and the toilet. It'll just be this week that I'm working on it, so I'm gonna put this, post this whatever's here tonight, and then next weekend I'm going up to rodeo, so I won't be any working on the bus next weekend, so it'll be a couple of weeks before I post anything again. 2-3 weeks, something like that. Probably 2 weeks. Anyways, whatever. Because just be whatever I do during the week, and then the following week and that weekend. So hopefully it'll be a fair amount of progress by then. It seems to be, now that I got the old floor up, seems to be going fairly quickly. So yeah. Anyways, I'm gonna call this it for this video, and we'll continue on next time. Vaya con Dios.